Namaste, angels. I'm here to do another client reading. This reading is for someone for whom I've read before in the past. She wanted me to check. I think we did this before, but she wanted me to check again if this is actual, some type of destined partner for her. I think the beginning energy suggests that it is. And I was also shown that behind it is sacred union and then birth. So maybe the birth of, a new relationship together after they get balanced, maybe by some meditation, perhaps. I'm not going to do the reading this way. There's sacred marriage. It's in reverse, however, behind that with moon tree that represents sacred marriage. But sacred union is nothing to sneeze at either, as they say, but soulmate. But we're going to do it this way. I'm going to begin with those, and I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. Opening to the golden path, soulmate back, and creativity. I don't remember anything like, what their signs are or anything like that. I'm starting completely from scratch and fresh, grabbing new energy. Soulmate. Opening now to relationship. I just did that with another couple. I opened directly to relationship, but they didn't have soulmate and sacred union at the same time. Okay, that's different. That's for you only. Soulmate. I'll go one more, and it's heaven on earth. You need to let go of something, or the masculine needs to let go of something, or both of you need to let go of something that's holding you back from moving on to something else. This card doesn't mean anything that it may look like it does. It's about our tendency to hold on to things from the past, which inhibit us and prohibit us from moving on to the future. So well, boom, there's the sacred union back again after I shuffled, cut, all that kind of stuff. Here it is. So I kind of feel like I don't need to do what I was about to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. The overall energy is now dreams. And I'm laying 5 cards here to see what they say about the masculine and you. Embrace. There's a need to first love oneself wholly before we're prepared to love someone else. This card looks like 2 people hugging, but it's really one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together harmoniously. And this is what we, all strive and wish to have going on within, believe me. But there's a need to do that before being able to love someone else properly. But we can do it in the 5D until we get there. Kind of reminds me of a Chris Brown song, like, until we get it right, we'll do this instead. Here's the sorrow from Mother Mary. Sometimes she comes through with this sorrow because we haven't gotten it right yet. This is what she wants for us so badly. This is for what she sacrificed. This is for what her son sacrificed. So it does hurt her sometimes when we haven't achieved it. And she's got a feast day coming up soon too. So she's very present right now. On Sunday, it's Our Lady of Itatí, a city called Itatí in South America, where they have the largest dome top of basilica in South America. All of South America is in this one place, Our Lady of Itatí. In any case, golden path again, indicating that you are on the, going in the right direction. These things are moving forward as they should be. And there's a need to reflect. Now, when we reflect, we don't just look in the past, but we certainly want to look at the past. But we got to reflect on our present too. So, it's one of those, like, if you don't know where you've been, you can't figure out where you're going and all that kind of stuff. So you got to look at the past, you got to look at the present, and then you got to have some forethought too and look toward the future and some positivity and looking toward the future. So this spread, basically, it's not very romantic and certainly not as indicative of a sacred union as when I was shuffling. But I think what the universe is saying is I already showed you that. And it may have showed us this other times too, but it certainly showed us that already tonight. And it's showing us what else we needed to know from this deck with regard to the healing that's necessary here. But like to keep you positive, letting you know you are on the right path, however. And in the meantime, you do have this. This is another card that people love to get. And with an overall energy of dreams, this can certainly be what leads to that 5D experience, visiting one another in your dreams. And what is this? I felt something like shining, saying, look, pick me. And it's Mother Mary again. And this time she's happy and she's bestowing blessings. So with that, I'm going to go to my Angel Tarot, beginning with the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. I think that this can also have to do with withholding love. Somebody maybe not being as free with themselves as possible, you or the masculine. Opening to the Chariot with Archangel Metatron. This is a card about movement, moving, travel, modes of transportation, victory. It's one of the ultimate victory cards. An important achievement. See? Self-discipline and willpower also coming from this, and public recognition even. Opposite the Four of Earth, it can be like moving toward foundations, and it can actually have to do with moving house, somebody moving house. Four of Earth, or fours in general, again, representing foundations, but Four of Earth, so it's connected to the material and or, monetary, something moving in the areas of the material or the monetary. So they can be physically moving to a new place or something. Opening to the Ten of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, that leads to stress-related health concerns. So the end, moving away from a feeling of being burdened and or burdensome upon somebody else with this Chariot. And here's another Four, more foundations. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow for more time before making a decision, maybe making a decision about moving, perhaps. Meditation may provide answers. So I showed you the need to meditate with this spread with this deck before I did the first spread. Chariot again, and it's the Two of Water. So here's another indication. Yes, this is with whom you belong. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. I'm getting that it might be you that's holding on too tightly. So it's not like necessarily withholding love, but it's like a grip on it, like trying to control how things go. Like if this is my love, it has to be this way. That's why I need to know, it's like trying to govern everything. You're going to have to let go of that. You got to stop that or else things will cease to move. Right now they're moving. They will cease to move because you will be reminded of who's in charge, who actually, ultimately has the reins and stuff like that. And those reminders can be painful. So right we're at it, let's stick with this energy of victory, right? We're going from the Chariot, which is I just said was an ultimate card of victory. We're going from that to the card of victory in the tarot, the Six of Fire. Good news, it's on its way. Also maybe public recognition, as the Chariot suggested, and awards are possibilities too. The overall energy is the Knight of Air. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless is the Knight of Air. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. This can be about like maybe nothing, or at least it's seemingly nothing moving, and then all of a sudden, boom, in comes this energy of the Chariot, for example, which represents water signs. I don't think I mentioned that. The sign of Cancer specifically, but can be connected to Scorpio or Pisces as well. Knight of Air is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, or somebody taking on those attributes or traits. Masculine, the 5 of Air, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. The 5 of Air for me is about bringing conflict and or like difficulty, challenge upon oneself. Not necessarily, intentionally. It can be inadvertently, but you like had a hand in your own whatever circumstance, whatever this is, and it becomes a challenge for you. Surrounded by, however, the magician, who has the ability to do whatever they need to do. They have all the tools they need to rectify any situation in their own lives. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. So he can fix this himself. Sort of like that saying, like you created it, you fix it, that type of thing. In his subconscious, his ego, or the devil with Archangel Jophiel, a false sense of entrapment. So he feels stuck. He feels chained to something. It's in his mind, though. It's here in this position, the subconscious. So he's thinking, I'm stuck. And potentially manifesting that into his life. That can be the challenging energy that he's brought upon himself. Also, this can have to do with being overly focused on material things and or negative or fear-based thoughts. So not realizing that we have all the tools we need to move forward, all the wit, all the energy, everything we could possibly need in order to move forward, not realizing that we have it and therefore, like shrinking back into fear here. And that could be the challenging energy he brought upon himself, holding yourself back through fear. The feminine, Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspiration, seeing the truth of a situation and a challenging beginning. Ace of Air, also a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, and is another card of victory. So we've had the Chariot, the 6 of Fire, and now the Ace of Air. Ace of Air also notorious for cutting away bullshit. Feminine, surrounded by the 4 of Fire. I talked about moving. He's again, this coming up, this energy of 4 and foundations. Contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. This card can also represent commitment. It represents whatever brings you peace, basically. In the feminine subconscious, the 3 of Water. So maybe there's something to celebrate, cause to celebrate. Again, maybe a new home or something. A wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. And the need to have more fun. This can be like you need to get out with your girlfriends, so to speak. Crowning, the Page of Air. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious is the Page of Air. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. Or the Page of Air, sitting here next to the Ace of Air. It can be like a dream deferred, as they say, victory deferred, like victory is in the mile, but it hasn't occurred yet. Maybe because of this challenging energy that we brought upon ourselves that caused a delay. Ace of Air still, coming through, about to come through. At the root, the 10 of Fire, too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance. That leads to stress-related health concerns. So maybe some sort of nervousness about this 4 of Fire. Somebody trying to impede upon that potential peace and everything by causing you stress. do what you can to like release that. Maybe getting back to the meditation, the need to meditate, that can help with that. But this is coming to an end. This is energy that will dissipate. That's what happens with tens. They become ones. We start all over. This 10 of fire like will become an ace of fire, a brand new beginning. At the heart of the matter, the king of water. He is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Also a Cancer, like the Chariot maybe, or Pisces, a Scorpio, somebody taking on those traits and attributes. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work, which is love. This is the king of all love and emotion. So he can be who's bringing you peace. And there can be a relationship here, a commitment that's for you. But that is delayed, maybe because the masculine's fear. He feels fear and or attachment to something else, or perceived attachment. He feels stuck, therefore he is, that type of thing. This ace of air mirroring this devil, he has something he needs to cut away. He needs to take advantage of the sword and cut something away in order for you to really be free enough to move. But let's see if we can figure out more so what's going on. By moving to the romance cards, begin with children. Your love life is being affected by children. And opening to passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Now, these can be your children, these can be his children, these can be young children, these can be grown children. Sometimes for me, they represent the person themselves, and an issue from childhood, but I am getting that it really does have to do with children in this case. And not necessarily small children, but children nonetheless. And opening to honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So we do have next week coming up, a full moon, 7/9. And we also have a holiday coming up, 7/4. And I'm feeling that this card can be connected to those. Otherwise, what this card, in a general sense, what it always says to me is like the honeymoon phase of a relationship, that new beginning on its way. Honeymoon back, and opening to worth waiting for. So despite the delay, right, divine timing is at work in your love life. Honeymoon and forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, let go of it, you experience more love in your present moments. Okay. So that's taking me back to that heaven and earth card, or heaven on earth card rather, where I said you have to let go of something old or from the past in order to allow for something new. That's attached to that. Let's let the law of attraction work, right? By putting out positive energy and positive thoughts, that's what we're going to get back. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Overall energy is codependency. This is another devil type energy for me. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. And that doesn't have to necessarily mean like substance abuse, although it very well can. And it can be more than one thing. It can be substance abuse and, some other negative form of attachment to any person, place, or thing, or combination of those. But it can certainly have to do here with the masculine's feelings of, being trapped and or caught in fear. Here, atop the 5 of air. So he may realize that he made some sort of, error, mistake, but he's being told by the universe, like, not to give up. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. That part may also be literal too. You may not be his typical type. And so maybe he's confused. Like, why do I feel the way I feel about somebody, who I normally wouldn't be attracted to for whatever reason, not necessarily physical, just wasn't expecting to click. So we have to, sometimes allow for these things to make sense, to be resolved in our minds, so we can understand what it is we're going through. People need to understand what's happening, in their heart, what's happening in their mind. You're like, why do I feel like this about this person? And once we get beyond that, everything is beautiful. So with the magician and the ability and the tools to do whatever he needs to do in his life to fix his own circumstances, he's being guided to free himself. So this sits here atop this ego or devil, where I said he was feeling like bound to something. And, basically the universe is saying, like, you have the scissor to cut the rope from around yourself. You have the key to open the handcuff. You have, like, whatever the case is, like, you're not trapped. If you feel like you're in a jail cell, you have the ability, to slide the door open and walk out. All of that. Here atop that devil, boom, wow. Yeah. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And I think it's him lying to himself. Possibly, again, because you're not his typical type. So he's confused. He's like, well, maybe I'm not feeling what I'm feeling. Maybe this is something crazy. And how could it be anyway? I'm tied to... He could be making stuff up in his mind that he's tied to. I can't move forward because of XYZ. All of this lies, #lies, to himself, and needs to pull off the mask. And maybe then he'll be able to see that he's the magician and he can free himself from this like debauchery that he has created. Here for you, atop the Ace of Air, let your friends help you. Allow for and accept support from others. And atop the Four of Fire, playfulness, to recapture romance. Allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. This guiding us to be very Sagittarian-like, right? Cupid is a Sagittarius. That's the playfulness. Sagittarius is a youthful, mutable, like the magician sign. Like a Sagittarius can pretty much adapt to any of the traits of any other zodiac signs, not unlike this Ace of Air that may be a Gemini, or this Page of Air that could very well be a Gemini, because we're like the Gemini is the more youthful, similar to Sagittarius and Gemini are mirror signs actually, so they're very much alike, but they have that playfulness. So connected to the Four of Fire, I immediately think about the relationships, commitments, marriage even, and Cupid with the arrow and his very Sagittarius self. So this is guiding you to be that sort of playful, lighthearted, even romantic and flirty, Cupid-like energy in your own life. Here atop the Three of Water, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So this can have something to do with a party of three, maybe a love triangle, as they say, onto which you're holding like some sort of resentment or whatever. So something from the past, regret, resentment, any sort of negative emotion you need to let go. All right, learn from it and keep it moving, basically. Atop the Page of Air, let go of control issues. Okay. And didn't I say this about you before? Like I felt like you were trying to control something. I got that from the Four of Earth. Yeah. So now this is the universe coming through to co-sign and saying, yes, let go of control issues and instead allow this situation to unfold naturally. Here atop the Ten of Fire, and the end of burden and or being burdensome and the stress of it all. Maybe the stress of somebody trying to take away your peace here. All that's going away, and you'll be allowed to instead explore your romantic feelings. They are real and worth exploring. This sitting here next to the deception too. So the masculine coming to his senses, and instead of fighting it, exploring his romantic feelings as well. And here atop the King of Water, boom, right? Sitting here right atop the King of all love and emotion is soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So I hope we're clear on that now, this time. And let's get a little bit more clarity if we can from the Ascended Masters, beginning with Athena. The goddess of war. She says detach from drama. I always say when the goddess of war tells you to leave drama alone, you know it's really time to leave it alone. And opening to teacher. I think this is the teacher of these experiences here, and the need to forgive and learn. Detach from drama. Opening to meditate and Buddha. Detach from drama. And energy healing with Merlin. Detach from drama. Follow your heart with St. Francis. The energy healing is actually something with which I can help you if you're interested. I never try to sell anything. And so, in fact, I never used to at all mention it. There were very few people that knew that I provided this service because unlike with my readings and stuff where I can like work with people and, you know, or try to be as accommodating as I can, and, you know, including, you know, having done many, many free readings, people all over the world can attest to this. I can't do that with the energy healing. It really, really takes a lot out of me to do it, so I have no choice but to charge. But with like these attacks by, you know, the dark and things like that, and people that have come through and tried to tarnish with like just accusations that you know, thankfully my viewers and my subscribers, you know, they didn't believe them because again, there are a lot of people that can attest to what I've provided to them and for them. But it has borne for me the need for like a website and, you know, like greater professionalism in the way that I do my readings, and also to not give so much of myself so freely to the public, unfortunately. I mean, it's something that I like doing. I like helping. But with all these evil people out there, I just can't anymore in that way. So anyway, now people know about this service that I provide because it's on my website. So if you're looking into energy healing and would like to, certainly don't feel any pressure for me to do this, but would like to, you know, feel free to visit me at queenofswordsthelightworker.com and look under energy work offerings. I have 3 different healings that I provide. So yes, follow your heart, says St. Francis. St. Francis is one of my favorite saints, maybe because he's a seraph like me. Opening to health and healing. So more of the need for this, the need to work on yourself. And the masculine too. Follow your heart. I'm going to cut. We're back to detach from drama and Athena. Ooh. Overall energy is fertility and Pan, but this can certainly represent giving birth to something new, as opposed to sexy time, but it can mean sexy time too. All that talking about Sagittarius and Cupid and being flirty and sexy and, you know, all that kind of stuff can result in some Pan action too. And also maybe in 5D, getting back to the Tantric Union card that showed up in the first spread. In any case, or all of those cases, it is your overall energy, Pan and fertility. Top, keep an open mind. Let it go. So like any of these inhibitions and restrictions, like moral judgment and compasses and all this kind of like bullshit that we allow to hold us back, right? To turn into fear, to manifest in our lives and in our minds as fear and ego and things of that nature and hold us back. he's being guided to let all of that go. That's what Kuan Yin says. Here, atop free yourself and the magician, artistic expression. He can come up with a creative way to get his, butt out of whatever this situation he feels he's in, is what Paul the Venetian shows up to say. Atop the deception and the ego, or the devil, is flow of prosperity. So when he cuts that tie to those negative emotions and or attachments in his life, he will open himself up to the flow of prosperity. So where the ego or devil card relates to material things and finances, abundance, the earthly, but also to love, right? That's a form of abundance too. And they're both governed by the same goddess, Venus, right? She's the goddess of love and money. He is opening himself up to that flow of all of that once he pulls off this mask or cuts away this person, place, or thing that doesn't mean him well, using this sword up here. And we've already seen basically the outcome, right? We've seen that, you guys can and will be victorious in all this ultimately. You just got to get moving on doing it. Atop the ace of air, and let your friends help you, asking for support and everything. The answer is yes. First of all, if you need that support, Ganesh is going to knock down the obstacles that have been prohibiting you from getting the help you need and stuff, and maybe in making a new start with an ace. In this case, particularly the ace of air. Also, yes to cutting away what no longer serves you. Again, he's knocking down those obstacles, says Ganesh. Atop playfulness is the power of joy. Playfulness also sitting atop that peace card, right? The 4 of fire, 4 of wands, all about peace, contentment, happy home life, a marriage, a commitment, all things that, that make us feel good. The power of joy comes here to supplement that. Wow. Here in your subconscious, twin flame. So I'm sure you're happy to see this. It's not personally one of my favorite terms, twin flame, because of what's been done to it. But I still like seeing it for my clients as well. Here atop the let go of control issues, and the page of air is go now, says Serapis Bey. So again, releasing any holds and previous setbacks, self-imposed delays and things like that, letting go of all of that kind of stuff. Atop romantic feelings and the 10 of fire, persistence, says Lou. So yeah, keep at it, and that 10 will again turn into an ace of fire instead. And here at the heart of the matter, mother, wife, sister, daughter, and Lady Nada sitting here atop soulmate. So there can be a feminine energy in either or both of your lives. That is also something that needs to be healed in order for you guys to be able to move forward in a healthy way. This may be one of the obstacles, especially crossing Lord Ganesha here. This mother, wife, sister, daughter person, whoever they represent, can be one of the obstacles in your life, and somebody that needs to be cut away by the ace of air. Or at least heal the relationship. And maybe that's what leads to difficult situation. But they also sit here atop this 10 of fire. So they can be, by whom you're burdened, or upon whom you feel burdensome. And maybe they're giving you a hard way to go about it. Maybe that's to whom the masculine feels bound, crossing the devil and sitting here next to the magician. It is somebody definitely that with whom you need to heal something. It can be a literal, maybe children were involved before. It can be the mother of his children, an ex-wife, somebody he needs to let go, and of whose energy he needs to let go. But again, it can be applying to both of you. So from the Universal Love Oracle, we have embrace. And again, the need to learn to love oneself first. I think he had that here under this. This is one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a loving embrace, in balance. So it's a need to love oneself so that we can love one another. Here's the Tantric Union back to join that energy of Pan. And so, yeah, if you don't get to be very Panish on this plane, you can certainly do it on the other. From the ascended masters to the masculine, purification in white Torah. So this is about cutting away toxicity from your life as well, detoxing yourself, purifying your life by removing people, places, and things that are not healthy for you. For you, see the other person's point of view. This can be the masculine. This can be this mother, wife, sister, daughter. This can be anybody with whom you're dealing. Maybe it's a drama situation, a drama-filled situation. This is what the goddess Athena wants you to look at and then step away from. From the angels to the masculine, Knight of Earth was loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. He may have been concerned about money. So we have this flow of prosperity. We have the devil, and now we have the Knight of Earth coming through to say that yes, there's something is finances, material on its way. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind is the Knight of Earth. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. It's going to help you through all of that. And for you, something very similar. It's the King of Earth. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the King of Earth. In both cases, a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or someone taking on those energies, those attributes. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. You may be like offered jobs and things that you maybe didn't even apply for, all that kind of stuff. Just things going your way. And for the masculine, past life relationship. You've known each other before. I don't think this applies to you. I think this applies to mother, wife, sister, daughter. Like the relationship that he has to heal, either by repairing it or by walking away from it. And for you, very soon. So if you've been waiting on him to do that, or again, if that's what the 5 of air represents, that he's, been involved with something that's been a delay, maybe that's what the page of air represents, that delay coming to an end, your burdens, your difficulties, challenges coming to an end, as the 10 of fire indicates. And very soon all will be well if you guys clearly decide what you want. Right? That's how it's going to come to you now. I hope that you find your reading helpful and that you enjoy it, dear. Namaste, angel.